Tonight, the top 2 home cooks in Canada will go head-to-head in the most spectacular culinary showdown that this country has ever seen. This is the MasterChef Canada finale.
Months ago, the search began for the best home cooks in Canada. The top 50 were invited to Toronto to make their signature dish for the judges.
I'm gonna rock their socks off.
And earn a coveted white apron.
Come on up.
You're getting a full body hug. Oh!
Some had their dreams dashed.
Just didn't hit those notes, so it's a no from me.
The best of the best moved forward.
You are the top 16 home cooks in Canada.
And each week, they battled to survive.
Come and get it!
In challenges that pushed their limits,
Focus. Help him on the soup.
I will not accept that.
they honed their strengths.
This is a league of its own.
Week after week, home cooks were eliminated until it came down to just 2, vying for $100,000 and a life-changing title. Tonight's first finalist is Lynn, a military vet from small-town New Brunswick.
I was injured in the line of duty. They told me I'd never be able to walk in heels, but here I am.
Her fine dining experience was limited, but her natural talent was not,
Some people play music by ear, I cook by taste.
placing her at the top again and again.
Lynn.
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 Yes!
Her strong personality triggered strong reactions,
More chopping and less talking, okay, please?
but her heart and spirit won everyone's respect.
There's no way that I could have possibly asked more from my partner.
A devoted mother who never flagged in the face of hardship.
Food was something that we sometimes ran out of, and I'd have to go to the food bank. But I always found time to cook them something that tastes good, and that's the way I showed them that I love them.
You made me cry.
She amazed the judges and herself.
Spot on.
This, to me, is perfect.
I don't find any faults.
Wonderful.
Wow.
This is a restaurant quality dish again.
I'm actually surprising myself every day that I'm here.
Keep doing that, you might land the biggest surprise.
I would like to open a bistro with my daughter. Today's gonna decide if my dream comes true or not.
Now, the only thing that stands in her way is David, a concrete worker from Surrey, BC.
I started doing concrete at 17 years old. I only have a grade 10 education and I didn't finish school.
He's driven by a desire to change careers,
I'm hoping that I can fulfill my dream of owning a restaurant.
inspired by his wife and boys.
When Dad cooks, we judge him.
He impressed the judges right out of the gate.
We think your dad is an excellent cook. Do you think you can go down and give him that?
And never looked back. His dishes sent him to the pantry again and again.
David.
David.
David. David. Amazing job.
This is your 3rd time here in the MasterChef Canada pantry.
But despite all his advantages,
We call him Armchair David because he's always in the gallery.
he earned everyone's respect.
What do you do again for a living?
I'm a concrete guy.
It's like a trained chef did this.
Understated and humble, the only showboating he did was on the plate.
Absolutely wonderful.
Beautifully done.
It's incredible.
Genius.
Sublime.
The day I left my family, all I wanted to do was to win. It's all about them and it's all about winning.
Congratulations, David and Lynn. Over the past weeks, you've survived each and every demanding challenge and proven that you both deserve to be here in the MasterChef Canada finale.
Thousands of home cooks from across the country wanted to stand where you are now, and you competed against the most talented of them. Tonight, those worthy opponents are back to lend their support and cheer you on. Jennifer, what are your feelings about Lynn?
There's one thing that I learned from Lynn is cooking with your heart. Believe in yourself that you deserve to be here and you will take this home.
Tammy.
Lynn is an incredible cook. She's been cooking for many, many years from her heart, and she's been through a ton. She's had to fight for everything that she's ever been able to achieve. She's got a great palate. She's got a passion for cooking.
Cody, you're supporting David, I believe.
You know what? It's a true pleasure and an honor to have shared the MasterChef Canada kitchen with him. You are an inspiration to me, and I know you're gonna bring it home today.
John, did David inspire you?
Most definitely. I thought I knew how to cook until I met Dave.
It's clear that both of you have strong support up in the galleries, and there's tremendous support for you across the country.
But I'm guessing the support that means the absolute most comes from your families.
David, all the way from Surrey, BC, we have your lovely wife, Tanis, your little boys, JJ and Nuno, and your mother, Maria.
Lynn, here supporting you today, you have your daughter, Chelsea, your daughter, Ashley, and your mother, Carmen.
And the biggest surprise of all is my mother. She doesn't travel. She doesn't leave Edmundston.
Did you win it?
Not yet, buddy. Not yet.
But he's gonna.
You got this, baby.
Carmen, how do you feel about Lynn making it in the finale of Masters of Canada?
I'm so proud of her. It's unbelievable.
Lynn has incredible drive. I don't think there's anything she can't do.
I know. I know.
Tanis, I don't think you're at all surprised that David's here, are you?
I'm not. He cooks to show us how much he loves us. There's no fame, no money. It's just about showing people that you love them.
And now it's time to get down to business. Families, please head up to the galleries.
We can like, wait. Okay, you can do it. I believe in you.
Having my wife, my mother, my boys here, it's everything.
Tonight, we want a gorgeous 3-course restaurant quality meal.
There will be 3 rounds, appetizer, entree, and dessert. After each round, you will present us each with a flawless plate in the banquet room, where we will taste and judge your dishes.
You will now have 10 minutes in the pantry to get everything you need to cook us the most important 3-course meal of your life.
Lynn is amazing in this kitchen, but no way is she gonna beat me tonight.
I didn't come here to just make it to the final 2. I'm gonna beat David.
Are you ready?
Yes, chef.
Your time in the pantry starts now!
This looks great.
I am rooting for David because he's not afraid to push the boundaries and really throw in new techniques to his cooking.
Lynn has the edge because she's passionate, she's dedicated. Whatever she puts her mind to, she can do.
Lynn's perseverance is impressive, but David's culinary knowledge, it's like second nature to him.
Good job,
Lynn, what will you be making?
A surf and turf of foie gras and lobster. Woo!
What about you, David?
Tomatoes 5 ways with crispy sweetbreads.
You have 60 minutes to transfer those culinary ideas onto the plate. Are you ready?
Yes, chef.
Your time starts now!
You have 2 different cooks from 2 different parts of the country going about this challenge in 2 completely different ways. One is going luxury and the other one's going very humble simplicity.
Agreed, they are worlds apart, as they are from West Coast to East Coast.
I want to show the judges that, yes, I can do foie gras, I can butter poached lobster, and guess what? I can actually plate and make a cracker to top it all off.
Sweetbreads are my favorite dish to eat at a restaurant.
Sweetbread is the thymus gland of veal or a calf.
I've never had sweetbread with tomatoes. It's gonna be a really unique match.
These particular tomatoes I'm going to poach in olive oil. I'm going to make a jelly, and I'm also going to make a foam. I'm going to serve some raw, and then I'm going to pickle the green tomatoes. I love making common ingredients beautiful.
David.
Yes, chef.
Aren't you afraid that this dish is not really sophisticated enough? I know you're trying to elevate, but Lynn is doing lobster and foie gras, and you're doing tomato?
I'll compete against foie gras any day with my tomatoes.
How are you gonna marry tomato and sweetbread?
The richness of the sweetbreads gets beautifully paired with the acidity of the tomatoes.
You have inspired a lot of people. Who knows? You may even inspire me.
Thank you, Chef.
Maybe.
Lynn, what are you making over here?
A medley of foie gras and lobster. And I'm making a homemade poppy seed cracker for the foie gras mousse.
Wow, that's ambitious. How are you going to make sure, though, foie gras is perfect?
I am gonna make sure my pan is really, really hot. I'm gonna use 3 different pans for the 3 different pieces.
I can't wait to try this, Lynn. Good luck.
Thank you.
David has just taken his sweetbreads out, and whilst they're hot, he's starting to peel off that very thin layer of membrane.
That could be quite difficult.
If it's not done properly, and if you don't remove that little membrane, it's tough.
Bring it home, David. Bring it
Thanks,
home.
guys. You got it, buddy.
That's a hot sweetbread.
20 minutes! You have 20 minutes left!
Nice.
Nice.
Lynn, she's got so many delicate things to put together on the plate at the last minute.
Nice job, Lynn.
Nice, Lynn.
Beautiful, hun.
Our pan's on fire.
I certainly don't want to be tasting charred foie gras.
5 minutes! Better be thinking about plating soon.
Look at this. He is trembling.
Take it easy, David. Steady those hands. You know you can.
Kind of feeling the pressure here.
With the title at stake, my hands would be shaking too.
Wow, Lynn.
That is awesome.
That is beautiful. Good job.
I can't believe how incredible Lynn's plate looks.
Oh, there goes the spiral cracker.
1 minute! You have 1 minute left!
One word. Incredible.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up!
Lynn, David, judging by the gallery's reaction and what we can see, you've both plated very impressive appetizers.
But as I always say, taste is king. Please follow us into the banquet room with your dishes.
You had 60 minutes to create your appetizers, and it appears that you've both done a spectacular job. Let's hope they taste as good as they look. Lynn, please bring your dish forward.
I want everything on my plate to be perfect.
My dish is a lobster and foie gras surf and turf served with a homemade poppy seed cracker.
It's very impressive and is definitely restaurant quality plating.
Thank you, Chef.
Let's have a taste. Lynn, when I was watching you cook the pan-fried foie gras, and I saw this enormous plume of smoke, I thought for sure you had destroyed that foie gras. But it was seasoned beautifully, caramelized on both sides. You nailed that piece of foie gras. This has to be one of the best surf and turfs I've ever had.
Thank you.
Mousse is difficult to make, period. And I must say, you did a fantastic job. The lobster meat gives it a rich taste of the sea, which goes very nicely with foie gras. What really impresses me is this beautiful cracker because it cuts into richness. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You've nailed every component. It's amazing to see how you've evolved. You have this confidence now that wasn't there before you came here. Incredible.
Thank you.
David, please bring up your dish.
I'm just hoping that this appetizer dish was a good idea.
My dish is tomatoes 5 ways with crispy sweetbreads and a salsa verde.
It looks beautiful. It's like a garden with little rocks. It's good to take nature as inspiration when you present a plate.
David, the foam, It's one of the most innovative things I've ever tried. It goes from a solid form to liquid. It just pops in your mouth. But one small misstep. You left the outer membrane of the sweetbread. That's what's making it tough. It's an easy misstep to make. But overall, fantastic dish.
The pickled tomatoes, the salted tomato, I love green tomato. That was wonderful. And the sweetbread. To me, it worked, and it worked well. Did you inspire me? A little. But it's difficult to inspire the demon chef a lot.
It's interesting that you chose a sweetbread to go with the tomatoes, because it's a unique and interesting combination that, in fact, does work. Other than that little chew that I had, the crispiness of it was right on the money. Lynn and David, we need to take a moment to discuss your dishes in private. Well, two really great first-course dishes and two very, very different approaches.
I would agree. Lynn really took more of the luxury approach, picking lobster and foie gras. And David went after the humble tomato.
In terms of taste, I think they both deliver. But it's the small things. We are at the finale, and it's always small details.
I know that there was a little misstep maybe with the sweetbreads.
I think Lynn has the edge here. Everything just seemed to be harmonious together.
I am feeling like I lost the appetizer round. I'm not going to make any more mistakes.
I feel great. I want to win this.
Lynn and David, you both served us very impressive appetizers, but two more decisive courses lie ahead. Your entree and your dessert.
So David, what entree will you be cooking for us?
Today, I'm gonna be doing a take on a classic Portuguese dish of pork and clams.
These are flavors that my mom taught me. I hope I get this right.
Lynn, how about your entree?
I will take you for a walk in an enchanted forest. My inspiration comes from going hunting with my mom and my dad when we were little. Tammy inspired me to use elk.
I am making elk tenderloin in an enchanted potato forest.
You will have 60 minutes to create the best entree you have ever made. Your time starts now!
I've never cooked with elk before. It's very risky and might be very stupid, but this is the MasterChef Canada finale.
I'm gonna beat Lynn this round. I'm elevating this classic, simple Portuguese dish by using the wild boar, cooking it confit in duck fat, and gooey duck from the West Coast. My favorite clam, actually.
Here we go, David!
He's taking a technique which takes hours and hours to prepare properly. How is he gonna pull that off?
Also, he's taking gooey duck, which is tougher than normal clams.
When they're overcooked, they're like rubber bands.
There is no margin for error.
Lynn's also chosen a game meat.
Elk is very lean. Cooking has to be done very subtly.
That will take about 12 to 15 minutes to cook and 5 to 6 minutes to rest.
Wow, Mom, you look good.
That's amazing.
Wow, Lynn, what are you going to be doing with these spun potatoes?
I'll be making trees.
How do you plan to do that?
I'm gonna wrap it around a wine glass to get the shade, and then I will deep fry it.
Wow, that's a unique approach. Look at this beautiful elk here. Have you cooked with elk before?
I've never cooked with elk.
You never have?
Nope. Sometimes you have to take risks, because if you don't, you'll never get ahead, Chef.
Well, I admire that ambition.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with it.
Yeah.
You got this, David. Here we go, brother.
David, are you concerned that you picked braising meat for such a time-sensitive challenge? This is oil.
Yes.
And I can leave my finger in here.
Yeah, just nice and slow.
Nice and slow for a challenge like this?
I believe that the rounds are small enough that they'll cook through. I want to get that to a medium, and then I'm going to throw it in the fryer.
And what about the gooey duck? It's also a very challenging protein to work with.
It is, truly. I have worked with gooey duck a lot. It's just simply not overcooking it.
You're taking a lot of risks here.
I am.
And if you pull this off, I'm going to be very impressed. Well, best of luck.
Thank you, Chef.
You got it, babe.
30 minutes! Yep, 30 minutes left!
trees isn't working. I'm worried about my potato trees. I need to leave enough time to cook my elk, and I'm pressed for time right now.
She is so concerned with her trees, she's not paying any attention to her elk.
If she doesn't get the elk on in the next 5 minutes, it is over for her.
Come on, Mom.
I can tell you right now, Tammy looks worried for her. I think Lynn's unraveling.
What the hell did I get myself into? Like, what was I thinking?
Come on, woman, hurry up.
I haven't touched my elk yet. I'm way behind, but I know I can do this.
The star of this plate is going to be the wild boar.
Porky goodness.
Here we go, David. You got this, man. Ooh, yeah, David. Looking good, man.
Yeah, baby.
5 minutes. At this time, you should be plating.
Flip your elk, hun.
Look what's happening over here, gentlemen.
I'm working at super ninja speed to get everything on the plate.
She is building those plates.
Unbelievable.
That's the way I like it.
1 minute. You have 1 minute left. Come on, 1 minute.
This plate is so important. This is everything.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up! Hands up!
This dish is fun, it's quirky, it's artistic, like me.
As I look at my dish, I'm happy with it. It looks like a restaurant quality dish.
David, please bring up your entree.
This entree is very personal to me. I just hope I'm making my mom proud.
My dish is a wild boar belly with gooey duck clam and brown butter carrot puree.
It's an exquisite looking dish.
David, you're taking the inspiration from clam and pork. I mean, that's just right up my alley. You know, Asians, we love to mix seafood with meat. Gooey duck clam with this wild boar, perfect complement. The combinations of textures, of everything, it just goes together.
The clam is so tender. It is the thing of beauty. Very sophisticated, humble dish from a very sophisticated, humble chef.
Your wow factor on this plate is the wild boar belly. Herbs and a little citrus, seasoned beautifully. Absolutely delicious. We chefs love to be surprised. And you surprised us with this dish. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Lynn, please bring your dish up.
I hope the judges don't think it's too extravagant or show-offy and that they get my story and my creativity.
My dish is a butter-basted elk tenderloin
In a potato forest.
a bed of celery root puree.
Lynn, your dish has a real flamboyance to it, and you've definitely connected with the ingredients. I think you made one error. You spent most of your time with your potato, which I don't think should be the star of the show here. It's the elk. The elk is just a little rare. That's the only fault on the whole dish. Everything else is seasoned properly. The puree is lovely. Just the elk.
Lynn, the elk, seasoned beautifully, caramelized all the way around, absolutely beautiful, but it's just a hair on the underdone side. The celeriac puree has that slightly sweet, earthy flavor, a beautiful accompaniment. This is the kind of enchanted forest I could visit.
Lynn, I love stories on the plate, and that story enchanted me. The potatoes and the way it's shredded and the perfect season. You can just eat this all day. All the ingredients, they go together. Enchantment, magics happen. Thank you very much. Please head back to your station and get ready to make dessert.
I think I made my mom proud with the wild boar and the gooey duck.
I missed the mark. My elk is a bit undercooked for the liking of the judges.
Once again, we've seen two incredibly strong and different dishes. David's was very much connected to his Portuguese background. He managed to pull off that wild boar belly.
Remember, I was the one that was most skeptical about his wild boar. The gooey duck was a knockout punch for me. I thought it was the most sensational, tender, flavorful gooey duck I've ever had.
His presentation could have had just a touch more zing to it, whereas Lynn's, the presentation was, wow, big time.
I love the story of her childhood. That really touched me.
But the elk was undercooked, and the overall concept doesn't work if the proteins are undercooked.
This competition is so close, a lot is resting on the dessert.
So far, you've both delivered an extraordinary appetizer and entree. And the desserts you make in this next round could be the deciding factor in this competition.
Lynn, what are you doing for your dessert?
I'm making a play on a cheese platter, chef.
What about you, David?
I'm gonna make a very refined version of my wife's favorite lemon dessert.
You will have 60 minutes to make us a stunning dessert that could secure your victory.
We're neck and neck. I'm not gonna give up with my dessert.
Throughout this competition, Lynn has been a powerhouse with desserts. And now I gotta compete with her and do a better one.
Are you ready?
Yes, chef.
Your time starts now!
There are 6 elements on my plate. One of the elements is black olive pistachio dark chocolate bread. I have to get that bread made because from start to finish, it takes an hour.
This dish is all about layers. The first layer is white chocolate graham cracker cake. The second layer, cream cheese mousse with vanilla bean. And on the top are shards of meringue. And for a garnish, I'm doing lemon curd.
This is the deal breaker. If this dessert isn't perfect, everything will be for naught.
With dessert, it is all about the refinement, and I think dessert is far less forgiving.
In pastry, there's nowhere to hide.
The dessert I've been working on in my head is very complicated, and I will need an hour and 15 minutes to produce it. And I have 60 minutes.
Hi there, David.
So, chef,
Walk me through each component of desserts.
so the crust will be a sponge cake,
And that's the foundation, the base.
and that will be the base. And in the center will be vanilla
Cream cheese mousse.
Wonderful. And that's what you're working on right now?
Exactly.
So does this then have to go in the freezer?
Yes, into the freezer.
Which is going to be the most difficult aspect of this dessert?
Just bringing it all together in the time allotted.
Maybe it's making your wife proud with this new and improved version of the dessert. What do you think?
I hope so.
Thanks, David. Hi there, Lynn.
Hi, chef.
Can you walk me through each component of your dessert, please?
I have pistachio brittle. My mom cooks brittle, and she puts it in tins, and that's what people want for Christmas.
Wow.
I also have a mascarpone mousse. This is an olive oil savory bread. We all love bread. French people love bread, right?
Yeah.
It's true. I'm making glazed apricots, and that will be served alongside Chateau de Bourgogne.
Sounds like you've got a lot to deal with.
Yes, chef.
And if there's anyone who can pull it off, I'm going to guess it's going to be you, Lynn.
Thank you, chef.
I'm working on lemon curd. Every move I make needs to be intentional. I don't have the time to make mistakes.
15 minutes! There's 15 minutes left.
Oh.
What did he put in there?
Curd. He just realized he didn't cook it.
I stuck a raw lemon curd into the freezer. I need to cook that. I am in full panic mode.
He is really cutting this close. I'm not sure he's gonna make it.
Oh. I didn't cook one of the elements. I stuck a raw lemon curd into the freezer. I am in full panic mode.
David just realized he forgot to cook this lemon curd. You've got to whisk everything and let it set in the fridge, and that takes time.
10 minutes, you have 10 minutes left.
Here we go.
This is very, very close.
He is really cutting this close.
I see nothing on the plate. But Lynn is almost finished. 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes left.
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable.
So finally, David is now starting to plate. He's starting to put together his dessert.
You got it.
Oh my God, he's still running around. Lynn is already finished.
1 minute, you have 1 minute left. He's still got to put his meringue on. It's going to be within seconds if he pulls this off.
You can do it, Dad!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up!
Wow, last dish.
Win or lose, I'm happy with myself.
I'm this close to the title of MasterChef Canada.
Now, it's time for the most important tasting of your culinary lives.
Here we go, David.
Got this!
David, please bring up your dessert.
My dessert is a lemon curd parfait on a graham cracker sponge base with meringue.
Are you as surprised as we are that you pulled this off?
No, I wasn't gonna give up. Not today, no way.
Can't wait to try it. I really adore all the flavors. The presentation to me is unique. There's so many textures happening here. You have crunchy from the meringue, soft from the mousse. The cake is sensational, flawless.
You know, David, I am impressed. You really elevated your wife's lemon dessert here. The star of the show really is this lemon curd because the sharpness and the sweetness, that balances perfectly. This, to me, is heaven in a spoon.
The mousse is light and fluffy and delicate. The lemon curd, if that had not made it to the plate, this would not be a successful dessert. It's very well done. Thank you.
Lynn, please bring up your dish.
My dessert's a plate on a cheese plate. It has homemade chocolate olive bread, pistachio brittle, a mascarpone mousse, candied apricots, and my favorite cheese, Chateau de Bourgogne.
Well, Lynn, this is an intelligent dessert. The chocolate bread with the pistachio and the olive goes very nicely with that salty cheese. And the apricot, that's delicious. This is a plate I would like to share with my friends.
Lynn, the mascarpone mousse. Mascarpone can be extremely rich and heavy, but you were able to present it in a way that delivered a featheriness to it. My only comment would be the brittle, because that was the sweetest element. I felt it was a little bit of the odd man out. But everything else was really very, very good.
Lynn, you've done something very, very rare on this cheese board. You've mixed two ingredients that work so beautifully together, the olives and the chocolate. It's actually one of the most memorable things I've had in the entire competition. I would serve that in my restaurant any day.
Please return to the kitchen while we discuss which one of you most deserves to be Canada's next Master Chef. 2 great home cooks, 3 amazing courses.
I truly have just cooked the most important dishes of my life. I hope that what I've done gets me the win tonight.
Let's start with David's menu. He's taken a lot of classic things and reproduced it in a very neat way. Tomatoes 5 ways. I like the innovation.
The gooey duck was exceptional. I mean, it was a restaurant quality dish.
And then he finished off with a very light, lemony, classic, but elevated dessert.
Exactly what I would look for at the end of a delicious meal.
Every element of my menu represents me and represents where I'm from. I can win today.
I think that Lynn had the advantage on the appetizer.
It had the refinement and the wonderful flavors that I was looking for in a great appetizer. Lynn's main course, I thought they were great elements that came together.
Lynn's dessert, a lot of flavors, savory and sweet, and it all worked. And I like things that are unpredictable.
She was very ambitious with that cheese plate. They're so close. This is really difficult.
Lynn and David, months ago, your culinary dreams led you here to the MasterChef Canada kitchen. Week after week, you endured challenges that sent your competitors reeling, but you both survived.
In fact, you thrived, growing and improving exponentially with each challenge, and presenting us with the finest dishes we've seen in the history of this competition.
You have now reached a level of skill and artistry that has earned you a place on this stage. Please come up and change places with us.
This is for the MasterChef title, and this is my chance to start my second life.
I hope that I get to be the hero for my boys.
All your lives, you have cultivated your passion for food, delighting friends and family.
All those experiences culminated in the masterful 3-course meal that you created for us tonight.
But as you know, only one of you can be Canada's next Master Chef.
Choosing a winner came down to the smallest of details.
One of you inched ahead of the other in presentation, technique, and flavor. That person will win $100,000, this trophy, and the life-changing title of MasterChef Canada. This year's winner and Canada's new Master Chef is David.
You did it.
I am the best home cook in Canada right now, and nobody can take it from me.
Oh my God.
Lynn brought it big time. I truly am inspired by the work that Lynn did tonight.
I'm not gonna give up because there's always another road to the finish line. Watch out, Canada. You haven't seen the last of me.
I'm a blue-collar concrete guy from Surrey, and I won MasterChef Canada. It happened to me.